Hi and welcome back to Politodoxy. I'm your host, Aron Friedman. Today I have the pleasure to announce that we have Lilly Gaddis, who went viral on Twitter for using a word that most people find themselves very uncomfortable with. And here is the video footage.
Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke-ass niggas.
All right. So why? First of above all else, I would like to get one thing clear. What is it that you said?
I said broke-ass niggas.
You're gonna get me canceled. You're gonna get me canceled. It's so over for me. But I just love it. I love the fact. You just use it casually. Above all else, you use it casually, no problems. Like whatever. It just, that's basically what it is. It is what it is. Anybody has a problem. I don't really care. It's just normal vocabulary. And I think largely in the culture, that's how people use it, right? So suddenly out of nowhere, and this is a video from when? From May? About more earlier in the year, right?
It wasn't too long ago. I had only recently started posting content seriously. So I think it was this has been 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so this is not an older video. This is actually a recent. So I was under the impression it's an older video, and only now it gained traction.
Right.
Oh, okay, so here's the interesting part. We have people who are saying who got very upset about this, but the funny thing that I found the most hilarious is that black conservatives, and we're talking about the ones that like to be edgy, who actually like to provoke thought. I like to be edgy. I like to be provocative. So the black conservatives, they were all over this. They were we love this. Get infinite N-word pass. Everybody, all the black conservatives that do not who are not controlled by that word, were give this girl an infinite N-word pass, and I just loved it. I love to see the black conservatives are finally waking up to it's just a freaking word, which reminded me of a video that I saw. Let me show you this video. This video right here. Give me a moment. I will pull this up, and it's about 2 minutes. A lot of people are going to get really upset about this because, he uses all the words that we're not allowed to use, but I don't care. This guy, good comedian, funny.
There's a different group.
Why is this?
To get pissed off at you in this country for everything you're not supposed to say. Can't say fruit, can't say faggot, can't say queer, can't say Nancy boy, can't say pansy. Can't say nigger, boogie, jig, jigaboo, skinhead, jungle bunny, mooly, moulin, or schwarzer. Can't say yid, heed, zeed, kike, maki, dago, guinea, wop, ginzo, greaser, greaseball, spick, beaner, oye, tiger, PR, mick, donkey, turkey, limey, frog, squarehead, kraut, jerry, hun, chink, jack, nip, slope, slopehead, zip, zipperhead, gook. There is absolutely nothing wrong.
The crowd is cheering. I love it. The crowd is cheering for this.
That was impressive. He remembered all those. Who knew there were so many? I learned something today. Wow.
In and of themselves. They're only words. It's the context that counts. It's the user. It's the intention behind the words that makes them good or bad. The words are completely neutral. The words are innocent. I get tired of people talking about bad words and bad language. Bullshit. It's the context that makes them good or bad.
He's got a point.
That makes them good or bad. For instance, you take the word nigger. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the word nigger in and of itself. It's the racist asshole who's using it that you ought to be concerned about. We don't care when Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy say it. Why? Because we know they're not racist. They're niggers. Context. Context. We don't mind their context because we know they're black. Hey, I know I'm Whitey, the blue-eyed devil, patio, fade, gray boy, honky motherfucker myself. Don't bother my ass. They're only words.
Oh my goodness, love it. This guy just goes ahead and says every word in the book that we're not allowed to say, goes and says it, and the crowd's cheering for him. He says it, but not only he just goes ahead and says it, this is what came to mind when you said you just said the N-word, no problem. you weren't saying it in a racial context. You were saying it as popular culture says it, right? You weren't being, I'm specifically talking about black guys. No, I'm talking about white guys, black guys, Asian guys, all guys. I thought this is the context that we're talking. This is just popular vernacular that everybody uses. Most people don't put it on video, but everybody uses it, right? I mean, who
Exactly. Like, where do you think I learned it? I learned it from other people saying it, you know? And yeah, it's crazy how they turn it, because like I think it was TMZ wrote a headline about it, and they were like, "Trad wife goes on racist rant." So the way they write it, you would think I was sitting here like, "These niggers, you know, we got to get rid of them. We got to send them all back to Africa." Don't take that out of context. But I wasn't even talking about black people.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. They will. I promise you, they will take this out of context.
Okay, awesome, great. But yeah, it's just a word for men. So it's ridiculous that people blow it out of proportion.
There's another video that also reminded me that I was reminded of. It was, and I freaking hate, okay, I like Star Wars and I hate the other one. I can't remember what the other one is. The nerds are always fighting each other. No, Star Wars and the other spaceships. What's it called?
Oh.
The
Harry Potter?
Damn it, I can't believe I'm Huh? Where they have to do this, where they do this for the greetings. What's it called again? Damn it. Anyway.
Oh, I have no idea. Oh,
Star Trek. That's the one, Star Trek. So, yes. So I freaking hate that one, but there was one scene that I was reminded of, and I actually said, okay, Star Trek's kind of based on that point. They had their Abraham Lincoln for some reason. I don't know the context of it because I haven't really watched the show. I think I watched one movie and I was like, this is, I'm sorry, I'm just not interested. Anyway, but they had Abraham Lincoln for some reason and then a black woman. And Abraham Lincoln said something, what an enchanting negress. I think that was the word that he used. And it got silent for a moment and he said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend her. Sorry. And she was like, why should I be offended? The word, it's just a word. It has no bearing over how I feel or what I do. And he said that the ignorance of my age or of my time had got me to apologize to where no offense was taken, something like this. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of based. Okay, that's nice. You know, for liberal Hollywood, for liberal Hollywood to actually to produce something that says it's just a word, get over it, it's fine. You know, it's a bad word. Yeah, it's a bad word, but it's just a word. You could calm down, everybody. And black people use it all the freaking time. If this was really that bad of a word, such as here's an example. If I were to say that killing 6 million Jews in the Holocaust, as a Jew, I would say that it's good, then everybody would be like, this guy's crazy, this guy's terrible, how could you even say that? But black people say the N-word all the time, but there's no trauma, no nothing. When a white person says it, it's bad. If it's bad, then independently, no matter who says it, should be condemned. But if you're okay with it, then everybody should be allowed to say it. Call me crazy. So this is the video the previous video. What got everybody in a stir? You were like 2,000 followers. How many? You were about 2,000 followers. Then you blew up to 115,000 followers overnight, over 2 days. And people have been calling you a psyop. What is the psyop? Here, I will explain to the audience what the psyop is. So, I don't know. Maybe it's a psyop. We will find this out. We will find out. But the psyop is this. Get a pretty white girl to say the N-word, and then tell the black people, you see, and then get the simps, as Lucas Gage says, get the simps to quickly follow her and run after and repost everything. So to show that, you see, the white people, they just really want to say the N-word. They really want to say the N-word. They're secretly racist. And I was like, if this is the psyop, this is just my humble opinion, if this is actually the psyop, then my problem is that it really didn't work because the black people were like, give her an N-word pass. I give her an N-word pass. All the black people were like, give her the N-word pass. So all the black people who are supposed to be offended by this are like, you know what? We just had enough of the Democrats telling us, you should be offended by this. We're not offended by this. Go screw yourselves. We're independent lives. So if this is the psyop, then I would have to say it just didn't work. So, and here's another thing that I also found pretty interesting, and I would like to ask you. the mainstream media, and this part of the site, they quickly ran with it that trad wife goes viral after saying the N-word. Are you a trad wife?
No, I don't really know why I've gotten labeled with that. I think it was because in the video I was cooking. So apparently cooking is now extreme trad wife behavior, right? I just assumed we all had to eat and cook, but no, I'm not married, so I couldn't qualify anyway, even if I wanted to.
I mean, that is absolutely retarded from the mainstream media. Be like, oh, she's cooking. She's wearing an apron. Guys, I think we might have a trad wife. Like, what? Who, when, why, what time? Like crazy. The media so they would quickly run to say, okay, trad wife. Yeah, because we know that trad wives really love saying the N-word. We know that's what they're about. They're about cooking for their man, submitting to their husband, and saying the N-word. Yeah, okay, sure. That is a nice argument. So you quickly got a lot of popularity, and after saying the N-word, you got fired from your job. Was it? How long did it take for them to pick up that you said the N-word? How fast was it that they canceled you?
Well, these people that report you and stuff, they work really fast because I guess it's easy when you're on streams and whatever together and there's hundreds of thousands of people looking. It's easy to find exactly where you work. It's easy to find your address, everything. Like I've been completely doxxed, but it's fine. It's like at least when you get doxxed, you're like, okay, I've reached rock bottom, so there's nowhere but up from here, But anyway, they worked pretty fast. I think it was actually the next day that it blew up that my employer reached out to me.
Wait a minute. So they, again, I sorry, I didn't pick up on how fast was it? How long did it take?
Okay, so I posted the video and I think it was fine. Nobody seemed to be offended and it got normal numbers and whatever for like three days. I can't quite remember. It's been a while back, but I think it was about 3 days. It was fine. And then I posted another video that really blew up and was kind of somewhat controversial and triggered people. So then they went back through my other videos. They picked this up. They were like, got her. We got her.
Okay. Okay. So it was the previous video.
Right. Because that video initially did not even blow up. In fact, I didn't even notice I had said that until after people started being like, she said the N-word, and I was like, oh shit, did I say that in that video? Oh no.
By the way, I don't. By the way, to me it kind of is weird just calling it the N-word. I know what the N-word is. The hard R, that is the N-word. Saying the other word, which I don't want to say because I don't want to get canceled. But it's like if you're gonna say it's not the N-word. It is a N-word, and you could say it, or if you. At the very least, you would call it soft N-word, and everybody would know. I mean, do not forget, who was the guy who Kyle Rittenhouse shot in Wisconsin? Kyle Rittenhouse shot some guy, and also, of course, a criminal, or I think it was the child molester. I don't remember, so don't quote me on this. But this guy said the soft N-word towards Kyle Rittenhouse. Shoot me! I think it was shouting, "Shoot me, N-word!" So I was like, and this was brought up in this trial. Oh, he said the N-word. That's a literal quote. He said the N-word. That's from the trial from the lawyer. That we get so scary. I'm like, wait a minute. So this N-word is now okay for a white person to say. Only when it is a conservative, it is not okay to say. You have I think he's a child molester. I don't remember which one of them is the child molester.
I think he was too. I can't remember exactly which one. They were all bad people, though.
It's not Gage. It's not Gage Gorskurs. I don't remember his name. Gage Gorskurs. Something like that. His name was. That's not the one. There's the other one. Anyway, so a liberal says it. And a liberal. I guess we call him a liberal. I mean, at this point, I don't have that much faith in the liberals. So. A liberal says it, it's fine. Pretty white woman says it, who happens to be more right wing. Oh no, terrible! We have to cancel. This is a sign of racism. I'm like, get over yourself. I'm pretty sure that if it weren't for Obama, black people, if they were to listen to this soft N-word, they would be like, yeah, well, we don't care. I think it's Obama that racialized everything so far that now the N-word is bad again. In the 80s and in the 90s, white people were saying the N-word on TV. I've watched multiple times. They just said the N-word on TV within context of saying, I'm quoting this, or within context of not actually calling somebody else the N-word. Just again, context matters, as the comedian said. So within context, and everybody was, fine, because we all knew what they were talking about. Joe Rogan constantly said the N-word within context, right? So within context, people would always say it, and nobody had a problem. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, it's become this very scary word. What happened? I thought we were making progress, not so much anyway, I guess. So here's the video that went super viral. I want to play this for the audience. This is the video that went super viral before the other one. Is this the one, right?
This
Okay,
is
let's
the one
play
that
this
was
because
yeah.
I wonder why. Let's play this, and I would like to get your reaction to this because I have a theory here of why this made everybody upset.
So all those nerds in high school, like the weird theater kids and the anime people, and you know who I'm talking about, the people we didn't hang out with. So they've grown up now, and they're the ones making the laws. They're the Mark Zuckerbergs. They're the Faucis of the world, of fucking nerds. Those fucking dorks that never got laid in high school, and they've got a major chip on their shoulder against the normies. That's why you see all these fat-ass fucks making laws. Oh, you can be obese and anorexic. Okay, sure. They're the ones inventing clown world. They're the ones in media. They're the actors. I wonder why actors are so politically leftist. Oh, right. It's because they're loser theater kids. They're the theater kids who grew up, and now they're telling me and you what to think. They're telling me and you what to do, and they're making the laws in this country. Well, it's time to stand the fuck up and stop being scared. Like, why are we scared of these people? They were massive losers in high school, and they're massive losers today. It's time to put the motherfucking nerds back in their place. Stand the fuck up and speak.
You know what? I'm surprised you didn't call them gay because they absolutely are gay and they deserve to be called out as being gay. There's another word that comes to mind. I won't say it just not to get canceled, at least not right now. So I'm just surprised that you didn't call them gay. They are gay. They whatever they do is very homosexual, and I detest them. What I think people get offended by here is that you are when you're saying this. A lot of people were instantly thinking, "Oh, she's talking about Jews. She's talking about Jewish people." That's what immediately I thought. That what other people were thinking. I was like, you know what? It's not. She's not that far off. I mean, just even without thinking Jewish people, I would immediately think that. Of course, this video is 100% correct. They are all losers. They have no actual talent. They've done nothing of value. They don't know how to produce actual value. I mean, have you seen? And by the way, Bill Gates. Oh, he created so much value. This guy. Have you ever seen? Look at Bill Gates in the 80s or in the 70s. He has such a freaking punchable face. Like God created people. He said that let's put all the genes of punchable face into this one person, and he got one once he got a pie thrown in his face. I'm just sad that he didn't get it, that it didn't happen to him again. So this guy, so you have Bill Gates, you have these dorks, as you said, the gay losers. I have to say that. Just within that context, I completely agree. But also, a lot of them are, not Orthodox Jews, but they are, they cling to the Jewish identity, even though they have no connection to the religion whatsoever. What do you think about this?
I didn't think it would have it like people would insinuate Jews. I guess I'm kind of like out of the loop with Jewish people just because I grew up in an area where I never met Jewish people, so it wasn't like on my radar, but that apparently in the right wing's a big deal. But I guess that could be true. But honestly, I mean, I see that like there are foreign powers obviously that have a lot of have a chokehold on our country, but at the same time, those are like globalists. You know what I mean? So there's Catholic globalists, there's Jewish globalists. These are just people that have been in. Either like the Rothschilds, they've been born into powerful families or they've come up into those positions. So I'm not like, I don't know. I don't usually like to talk on the subject just because I'm not super well informed about it. So I don't want to sound dumb. You know what I mean? But I do think I do think, these people in control of us, they are globalists, they are elites, and they are weird. Sorry,
yes.
Bill Gates is
This is why I think a lot of people thought Jews, not because you were thinking about Jews. They were thinking about Jews. It's not that they think you were thinking about it. They heard these words and they started thinking about it. Why? Because a lot of them are ethnically Jewish. They don't adhere to the Jewish principles. When's the last time you saw George Soros with the Talmud? I defy you to find the photo. You can't, because George Soros doesn't follow the Talmud, because the Talmud says gay people should be killed. But so he doesn't, and he's the one ushering in gay agendas. So of course he's not. We're not talking about Orthodox Jews. We're talking about, a lot of them are, they do stem from Jews, unfortunately, and it is absolutely a travesty to have these people in charge. As I have already said this once, multiple times, as a matter of fact, saying that it's a shame that George Soros was not killed in the Holocaust. Two reasons. One is because now we have to live with the consequences of having this nasty piece of the human debris, and he's an evil, evil, evil person. He after 9/11, he is the guy who short sold American stock. We had American patriots buying up in the stock market, so to shore up the stock, to keep it stable, to keep the stock market stable. This guy short sold American stock in order to make more money. I'm not kidding. So this guy is an evil, evil, evil person. So that's the first reason that now we have to live with the consequences of this piece of human debris. And second is, well, I think it would have been better for his soul if he would have died in the Holocaust, but because then he would have at least died as a innocent child. But now he lived long enough to become the villain in his own story. Furthermore, I would just like to add that for those who are very shocked by what I said, this guy is a Nazi collaborator, and he does not regret it at all. So anybody who's offended by this, you have to deal with the fact he's a Nazi collaborator, and he loves it. He's glad that he was a Nazi collaborator. So you're offended by me saying that it's a shame that he didn't die in the Holocaust. Don't care. Go F yourself. So I would also like to bring up the point that you've had a lot of issues with. Okay, this is where I find the inconsistency with you. Okay, and you agreed that we would have no problem. We will be open discussion. You engage with a lot of interesting people online. Yeah, they call you Jewish, and you play with them, grabbing your Jewish nose, which I find funny. It's hilarious. We're trying to be edgy here. We're just trying to be provocative. We're just trying to have some fun, okay? I don't know why everybody has a stick up their ass. Oh no, she's being offensive towards Jews. I'm like, yes, everybody should be. Yes, you could be offensive towards everybody, okay? We're equal opportunist offenders. So here's the inconsistency that I found. That you went to AFPAC. And you met with, a whole plethora of people, some better than others, some worse than others, but this is the inconsistency that I found. Because previously, let me bring this up here again. I'll bring this up here in a moment. There we go. All right, so previously, you see here, you posted talking about Tommy Robinson, which, by the way, shout out to this guy. He's awesome, right? We can both agree. Daddy, as in, you love the guy, right? Am I misreading this?
I like anybody who protects children. So Tommy Robinson has done a great job, in my opinion, of exposing these child rape gangs in the UK. So honestly, I have no idea why people have a problem with him. But yeah, I think he's doing a good job. If you're protecting the children and you're trying to stop people from destroying your country, then I'm pro you. Yeah.
So shout out to him on this, and also on his opposition towards Islam. I'm not the biggest fan of Islam, but here's the interesting part that I find in you're being inconsistent here. That here's a photo of AFPAC. The one on the, let's see, that would be on the left of this photo is Nico, of course, I would say an Islamist, trying to justify, or maybe the word justify isn't the correct word that I should be using, but he's trying to normalize the fact that Muhammad had sexual relations with a 9-year-old girl, together with Muhammad hijab, trying to, it's different time, blah, blah, blah. He has whatever he has to say. So I would call that being an Islamist. Then you have this lupus person that looks like she took all the vaccines. That's not what she looks like. I'm not saying she took it. I'm saying she looks like she took all the vaccines. And then the other one here that doesn't know the difference between a cat and a dog, from a previous post that I saw, and doesn't know where Seoul is located in South Korea. Also another post that I saw, and he does geopolitics. Suleiman. So this guy, this is what I heard about him, and I apologize if I got my facts mixed up, that he said that Great Britain was doesn't have to be a white country. It doesn't really matter. So I would call that, again, Islam taking over Great Britain. We want to keep Great Britain Christian. We want to keep it majority Christian at the very least. We want to keep it that. But you have here people who are Islamist and pro, just pro the more extreme forms of Islam, justifying certain things that is very, very, very bad. So, and you posted here, you said the new right. So here's my problem. I would hardly call Sneeko the new right because this guy's a cuck. I mean, literally is a cuck. We all know what happened. So you have Sneeko, you have the other Jake Shields. He's more right wing. So I'm not going to be talking about him. So I guess it's fair to say that he's the new right. I disagree, but fair enough. But you have the other three. The other three, I would hardly call them Americans. I would hardly call them, with Sneeko, different story, but I would hardly call these two Americans. And Sneeko, cuck. The other one looks like took all the vaccines, not even an American. And the other, and two of them are just pro-Islam. So this is the inconsistency. On one side, you're talking about Tommy Robinson as being a great guy, which he is, right? We both agree on that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we both agree that Tommy Robinson is a great guy, and he's a strong critic of Islam, exposing the rape gangs. Who are the rape gangs? Oh, they're Islamists. So, and the other side, you're hobnobbing with people who, it doesn't really make any sense. So, what is your reaction to what I'm trying to get at here?
Right. No, I know what you're saying, and it's going to be the same thing whenever this video comes out. So, like I said at the beginning, I don't know any of these people. I really don't even follow Sneeko, to be honest, and I didn't know he was Muslim. But yeah, I'm just trying to meet people. I'm trying to get all the opinions because
I really wouldn't call him Muslim.
Oh, is he not?
I wouldn't call him Muslim only because No, wait. He would claim he's Muslim. I don't think he's smart enough to understand what it means. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So he claims he's Muslim. Okay. So here you go. Here you have you're saying fuck Islam, and you see where I'm getting at? You're on one side you're saying fuck Islam, the Islamists, and a whole bunch of other things, and then you've been interviewed by Solomon, which of course you can be interviewed by anybody. I'm not saying you cannot talk with these people. Of course you can talk with this. You have a right. Everybody has a right to associate with them whoever they want. Okay, so I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that on one side you're saying F Islam, and the other side you are being interviewed by them, trying to ingratiate yourself with people who they would be offended by what you're saying. So. Again, what do you got to say for what I am trying to get at?
Well, I don't consider myself trying to ingratiate myself with anybody. I would consider myself independent. I would try to keep aloof from all of the cliques, all of the different sections of the right. I don't want to be a part of anybody's thing because as soon as you become a part of one person's team, then you have to just say the talking points of that team instead of what you think. So like I said earlier, I just went up there to meet people. I didn't even know half of these people that went up. Like, I genuinely don't nobody. I don't know anybody. So I went up there. These people were already there. I was like, all right, you want to do an interview? Cool. I'm not the type of person that, like, if I disagree with you, I'm not going to sit down with an interview with you. Like, I want to talk. If you're going to try to tell me, to say something, absolutely not. But I just like to talk to everybody. So talking to people does not mean I'm pledging allegiance to anybody. I'm just talking to everybody, And yeah, I do think there's a lot of problems with it. Yeah. I'm not backing down on that. There's a lot of problems with Islam. If you're a feminist, you should be very offended by the way they treat women over there. So yeah, I'm not pro-Islam by any means, but I'm not going to not sit down and talk to somebody because they want an interview. And even the picture, it's like, it is a new wave of the new right. So I'm not saying it's the right. There may not be a right in this situation, but it is a new right that is emerging. And again, I want to talk to everybody. So that's why I don't get why everybody's jumping on my case, because I'm like, I'm not on nobody's team here. I'm just trying to talk to everybody because I like free speech. So the more that I can talk to everybody, the more it breaks down this stupid divisiveness within the right of, oh, we have our little clique and we don't talk to them. Well, that's why we're losing in this country, because there's so much cannibalization on the right. At least the left have unity and they have each other's back. Like right now, we're in such a bad place in the country that we can't really afford to kick out people from the movement just because we disagree on certain things. Like if you agree on most things, we need to kind of come together and stick together so that we can achieve the end goal. And then after we've achieved that, then we can fight amongst ourselves about the things we disagree with. But like I say, I want to talk to everybody, even like this interview. I'm not trying to get on your team. I'm not trying to get on the Jewish side's team. I'm just interested in talking to you. And I'm glad to sit down and, answer any questions and talk to you. I just want to talk to people and I want to hear what they have to say.
Yes.
Because if you want to get at the truth, you have to hear every voice. So that's not an endorsement. All that is being interested. I'm curious.
Okay. Yeah, sure. That I respect that. But it's a funny dynamic that, they would be the first ones to be offended by, F Islam. They would be, oh, that's Islamophobic. And I'm like, Islamophobia doesn't freaking exist in my vocabulary. Look up what they have to say about killing the Jews in the end times. I mean, that's what they prepare their children for. So Islamophobic, nah, they want to kill me. So no, I'm not Islamophobic. My fear of Islam, do not insult my intelligence, in other words. Phobia means an irrational fear. My fear of Islam is very warranted, very rational, and very much understood. All right, so here's actually the one. Never forget. Here, Palestinian boy shares his bread with a dog. That is a cat. That is a cat. So that's the one that I was referring to earlier. Anyway, so let me just exit this. All right, I will now bring up our co-host, Jack Tron. Let's see if this works. Jack, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Welcome to we have already discussed a whole bunch of things, and I know you couldn't see what was going on here. We've been very offensive, as we should be. Everybody, we are equal opportunity offenders. I've said that George Soros should have been killed in the Holocaust. Just a personal opinion of mine. Yeah, call me anti-Semitic. I am kind of anti-Semitic, for those who don't know my background. So I know you wanted to ask some questions, so I will now give over the stage to you. You can introduce yourself and go ahead and ask away.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Thank you again for having me. My name is Jack. I'm a 22-year-old mechanical engineering student. But I've gotten recently into the political scene. A lot of things have happened that have made me want to get more involved, especially after 2020. So that's just a little about me. But again, thanks for having me on. This will be my first podcast that I've actually ever done. So I'll be honest, a little nervous.
Well,
but
no, there's nothing to be nervous about. Welcome.
Yes, but thank you. So Lilly, it is good. It's good to see you again. I saw that you just did Alex Stein's show. How was that?
That was fun. They're really funny. So that was a fun show.
Yeah, I did see that. They asked you all kinds of questions about, you being a Mossad agent, 9/11, and a lot of other things. But did you feel at all nervous about any of those things that they would have asked you?
No, I mean, it's the way, if a cop pulls me over, I'm not scared because I know I'm not hiding drugs. I know I don't have any, illegal weapons that I'm transporting over the border, so it's the same thing in this case. I'm not hiding anything. I haven't done anything wrong. So ask any question you want. I don't care. I'm not trying to hide anything.
All right, that's fair enough. So you've recently, I'm sure I don't know if you've gone over this enough, but I'm sure you guys have recently been making the rounds just about some of the viral things that you've been saying. I think one of the things that I found was most particularly fascinating was just the things that you were saying about how you think that the people who are trying to run our society now are the people in high school who I guess are what you would call losers. I just wanted to see if maybe you wanted to go into a little bit more about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, just look at them. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. Look at Bill Gates. Look at all of these people who are really, I know they're not the politicians and whatever, but they are very influential in our lawmaking. And do you really think that they were really cool in high school. Like I could have used college as an example, but in general, what I mean by that is it's usually people with a chip on their shoulder. And a lot of times people get a chip on their shoulder when they weren't in with let's say the athletes or the popular crowd. And if you just look at like I like stereotypes. I like following patterns. And if you'll see, usually a lot of times athletes are more right wing. I think there's even a study out that showed that like better looking people tend to vote conservative. So that I think there's biological reasons behind this. And then also if you're into a weird crowd like in high school or whatever, that can really set you up for failure in the long run, you know? So people get in with like, I don't know, there's the theater kids, there's the band kids, and they start getting into a lot of weird shit. Like I didn't realize all of the wildness in high school until I, you know, met a few of the people who were in like band and stuff, and I was like, wow, these are like the furries, these are like the weirdos of the world. So they grow up to be SJWs, and since they're all hanging out with other weirdos, they just keep getting worse, you know, until that now they're the Antifa people. Now they're the Bill Gateses of the world. I don't know. I think there's a big. I think no, it sounds silly, but I think there's a big deal with people who have a chip on their shoulder. Then they have a vendetta against normal people. So white straight males, let's say for example, they're probably jealous of most of you because you know you got girls in high school, you got girls today, you know you have confidence, you work out, you look good. They're jealous of that. It's a lot of things can be boiled down to pure jealousy, in my opinion.
No, I mean, I totally agree with that. And for me, high school was not that long ago. I only graduated 4 years ago. And I can tell you, there is definitely a lot of truth to what you're saying, because I can speak from my own personal experience. Because as somebody on the spectrum, I wasn't really, I guess you would call it in the in crowd. And when you are, you harbor a lot of frustrations towards people. But but once you start getting it, well, what happened with me is that I admit is that once I started getting more involved in understanding the world and understanding who really the way things are, you start to notice that the things that you used to like and the opinions you used to have are all, I guess you would say, fabricated. Maybe not. Maybe fabricated is not the right word. It's more based off false, like, lies.
Mm-hmm.
But you start to get more into thinking about what you really want in life and what it means to really be having a fulfilling life. So when you take things like so when you take examples of like what you said, the nerdy kids who are in theater class, like, is that really what you want to be doing for the rest of your life? And I get that a lot of people, for them, it's like a sanctuary for what they feel is a miserable life experience in some cases. And there's a lot of time they do tend to harbor a lot of that anger towards them, and they take it out on the rest of the world. I think you were really spot on, especially when it came to Bill Gates, because there's this online joke online that in Belgium, when he once pied in the face, and now a lot of people think that's the reason, that was the moment that he decided he wanted to start to kill the whole world. So it's definitely a lot of moments like that. But it's also when after they get out of high school, or even when they're in high school, when they meet when they start to join a lot of fringe movements, especially in online forums. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. One of them is called, like, I guess you would call it the incel forum. For those who don't know, incel is short for involuntary celibate, and it's an online chat. Where a bunch of people who are very frustrated that they can't get laid come in, and they just express their frustrations with each other. So with some of the things that I've been seeing going on, that there has been a lot of radicalization that's been going on inside those kinds of communities, and unfortunately there's sometimes they can even turn violent. I think a good example of this would probably be the Robert Cremo guy. I forget like what exactly the exact details were behind it, but I know he was part of a lot of online forums that potentially could have been filled with what my friend likes to call accelerationists, if who are people who try to who infiltrate these kind of online forums to try to radicalize people into committing all sorts of violent acts. I mean, do you think that that's something that could also be contributing to all this divisiveness that you see in the world?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you're somewhat outcasts or you're somewhat fringe or whatever, the people who approach you to be friends are usually not better people. They're usually worse people. You know, misery loves company, so it's worse people that want to bring you down. So, like say a kid in school, he's like overweight or whatever. It's not going to be, unfortunately, the jocks or whatever that's going to be like, oh man, we want to be his friend. it's going to be people a lot weirder than him that can sense that like insecurity. Oh, he's kind of like an outcast. We're going to pull him into our team, you know, and you are who your friends are. So I think that's a lot of it. So whenever, you know, the first people to like jump on you and want to be your friend or whatever, if you're somewhat insecure, somewhat of an outcast, they're usually a worse crowd than ever. And I think that that's not just, I used high school as an example. It was a funny way of using an example, but on the bigger scale, that applies, you know, to a lot of things. So it's easy. I think when you're not feeling the best about yourself, it's easy to get pulled in by certain groups and radicalized or whatever you want to call it, just because you want to be accepted by a group. Because we are, you know, group animals in a way at the end of the day. So you want to be accepted by groups, you know, and usually if you're not in a good place, you're not going to be attracting good people.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I know actually one of these groups that you've recently had some kind of had some run-ins with, the Groiper crowd. I mean, I've been seeing that they've been doing a lot of, what is it that they've been doing to you again? That they've been doxing you. They've been, you know, exposing, what is it? Like they said that like they posted pictures online of your kids. I mean, I mean, if you want to see like how absolutely deranged some of these people can get, it's just take a look at that. I mean, how has that been for you? Are you sure? Like, yeah, like, is everything okay are you okay? Like with everything going on there?
Oh yeah, again, I went to AFPAC. I didn't have a problem with any of these people. I took a lot of friendly hazing, and I think I took it in really good sport. I went in there. I met some of the people. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus because I know this is a very fringe group of people within that group who's, you know, just crazy and they have nothing better to do than like try to dox somebody's child and make up lies against them. So anyway, yeah, I went up to AFPAC. I met a lot of the people. A lot of them were like really solid dudes. I think they've got really, you know, a good trajectory in where they're going. I think they've got like a lot of good ideas. So I'm not throwing them under the bus or whatever, but I am allowed to get angry when people out of the blue just start attacking me. I am allowed to get angry when people start posting pictures of my child on platforms where they have hundreds of thousands of followers, so hundreds of thousands of people are seeing these pictures. I do have problems when they make up lies about me that I slept with this person or slept with that one when it didn't happen, something that's very damaging to a woman's reputation. You know, so I do have problems. So if they wonder why I'm mad, it's fair for me to be mad at them right now. But it has, you know, obviously, again, just to clarify, I know it's not everybody. It's a few crazy people with nothing better to do because they're fucking losers than to try to dox somebody. So, yeah, again, I am mad. So I would appreciate an apology from that group, actually. But they, you know, as these people do, they usually double down. But that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of the stuff that they were saying, and that was definitely not cool. So I'll take this as just an opportunity to say right now, just come on, just, you know, just apologize, and we'll think nothing more of it, and we'll, you know, and maybe we'll try to move on.
Mm-hmm.
And would you agree with that?
Absolutely, because my thing is like, you know, I want to talk to everybody again. Like I was open minded to talking to them. And plus, another thing is, I don't know why they get so offended. It's not like I'm trying to join the groupers, you know. So who cares what some random girl on the internet says about whatever? But no, I mean, if you guys want people in your organization, if you want more supporters, they should try to be more honorable, like the way they want to act like they are. They want to act like they're these godly people. And again, I'm talking to the ones that's doing it. I'm not talking to the whole group. But if you want to act like you're godly people and you're Christ first and you're so much better than everyone else, actions speak louder than words. So how about not attack a woman? Because that's really tough of you to attack a woman and children, right? Very tough.
But the main question is, are you, as a matter of fact, yes or no? And I know everybody's asking you the question because, you know, it's now it's a meme. Are you Jewish?
No, I'm not Jewish.
Not even.
Can you sense
nothing?
Jewishness from me?
Well, I have to say this: that you had a bump in with what's his name, with Lucas Gage. He blocked me on Twitter. I wonder why. I mean, you know, he loves making jokes, and I'm like, I also like making jokes. Let's offend each other. You know, I love jokes, but I love offensive jokes. But then I made a joke about him, and he did not like it that much, so he blocked me. I'm like, come on. make some jokes about me. Let's play the game. But anyway, he got offended, blocked me. Okay, fine, fair enough. But what you had a bump in with him, and and I actually kind of like this joke because he grabbed your nose, saying that, oh, I got a Jewish nose. Is she Jewish? Is she not Jewish? And I'm like, I like this. This is fun. You know what? So I have to say, it was not very Jewish of you to be offended, to not be offended by it, because I know Jewish people are very sensitive when it comes to these things. This is the one thing. If you really want to nail one thing on Jewish people, stop being so sensitive. Come on, we're just having a good time. Everybody's just trying to be edgy and provocative. Come on, it's gay, it's retarded, just to get upset. So I kind of like that. There was this other girl that she likes to. Ariel Morgan. She really likes attacking Jews, spreading lies about the Talmud, saying that Jesus is boiling in excrement and in semen. That's a lie. First of all, she gets it wrong. It's Balaam who's boiling in semen, Jesus in excrement. But it doesn't say Jesus. It says Yeshi, and Jesus' name is Yeshua. Two different names, and it literally can be the same person, because the Jesus they're referring to is one that lived in the times of the Hasmonean dynasty, 100 years before the historical Jesus of the Roman Empire. It's very easily debunkable, but they just go with it. So I told her that she also gets a lot of flack from those people, because women in that movement get a lot of flack, but the strong ones stay with the movement, the weaker ones just run away. So she gets a lot of flack from the movement for being Jewish. And she said, why do you keep telling me that I'm Jewish? And I said that, well, you got the nose for it, so I say go for it. And she got very offended. I'm like, come on, we're just having good old fun here. Why are you so upset about this? So that was pretty Jewish of her, I have to say. She got offended, so that was pretty Jewish of her. So I have to say, I'm convinced that you're not Jewish. I'm convinced. Otherwise, you would have been like, no, you can't grab my nose. No, you can't do that. But you did. So I have to say, I'm convinced that you're not Jewish. What do you think, Jack?
I'm not Jewish either, but I can tell you that, from what I've seen, I do think a lot of Jewish people they love, cracking jokes at people. I mean, like, if you look at some of the most offensive, comedy movies that ever been made, who have they been made by? Jewish people, like Larry David.
Yeah, but they like making fun of everybody else.
Brooks.
But they like making fun of everybody else or themselves by themselves. But they will never let white people make fun of Jews. That's what bothers me. Let everybody make fun of Jews and let Jews make fun of everybody else. Let's make fun of everybody. Let's be equal opportunity offenders. That's all I'm asking. But apparently in this world we can't be. But I get your point. Yes, you are correct. There's this joke going around in Germany about Germans, that Germans are notoriously unfunny. And one German guy asked the question, why are we so damn unfunny? And one guy turns around and tells him, have you ever considered the fact that it's because you killed all the funny people? Yeah. I mean, so yes, I have to say Jews are funny, but they're also hyper funny, hypersensitive. And I'm like, it's a weird paradox, very weird paradox. But since we are on the subject of religion, yes, we shouldn't be talking about religion because it gets very offensive real quick. And we already talked about Islam. Let's offend more people right now. Let's do this again. Let's do this right now. So I'm bringing up again the past tweets, and this one is from today, actually, 9 hours ago. And I love it. I actually. Anyway, that's enough of that. I just love this. Those sheep have been raped more than illegal aliens coming over the border. And I actually posted under this that Suleiman was not very happy about this post. Again, equal opportunity offenders. I love it. Here's another one. Let's go to this one. Mossad watching y'all called me a Jew and missing the real operatives. Chuck Schumer Jew. I'm like, this is spot on. This is actually pretty spot on. Like what is the appeal? I just trying to figure out why are people, again, I understand why people get very, very touchy and very skeptical when it comes to the rise of certain people in the conservative movement. Are they a grifter? Are they not a grifter? What's the thing here? But you've been taking the punches from left and right and taking it on, like, let me quote Lucas Gage, like a champ. You've been on their what's it called? Twitter Spaces. You've been on their Twitter Spaces multiple times, answering their questions. You're not afraid. You're not running away. You're letting them ask the questions. It doesn't seem to me like again, it doesn't seem to me like a grift or a psyop. And if it is, I think you guys saw that you have had an account. You've been pro-Trump since 2018. If you are a plant, I have to say good job, because you are really convincing a lot of people. You're fooling everybody. If you're a plant, good job, because I couldn't have done it better myself. What do you think about that?
I mean, if I am a plant, I will say I'm a very good one. But no, I mean, I
Yes.
don't know. I guess it confuses a lot of people because I don't really care. Like, I didn't set out to have like a social media career. This was all an accident or whatever. So like, I think a lot of these people are really obsessed with their accounts. And to be fair, their whole job and livelihood is based off of the social media thing. I don't really care. Like, if this all doesn't work, I'll delete my Twitter and move on to do something. I have a life outside of this. You know what I mean? So I'm not obsessed with this, but
Good.
yeah, I think the jokes, the hazing, and whatever. I think it's friendly. And I will say, like, again, I think people think I'm like throwing the groypers and the America First movement under the bus. No, I'm just mad at you. I'm allowed to be mad if you come after my kid. I'm allowed to be mad if you start very damaging rumors about me. And yes, I am mad. So if you're listening, fuck you. I'm mad at you for doing that. But to get back to it, what is his name again? Cage? His first name?
Lucas Cage. Lucas Gage.
Sorry. Lucas Gage. Okay. No, actually, I appreciate him. Like, I actually like him. I met him up there.
He's funny. I have
fair.
to say, again, I would have to say, again, me and him, we will probably never get along, but he's kind of funny. I have to say, he is kind of funny. There was this one, I don't remember, if you had it up to here, a Hitler meme, if you had it up to here, and I was like, it's kind of funny, come on, damn it, why aren't you so offended? I'm like, why are you guys getting offended? I like these jokes. It's offensive, and I like offensive jokes. What can I say? I have a very dark humor.
I like that guy. I think he kind of gets it. Because he's actually genuinely funny. Like, his riffing and give me a hard time, I didn't feel like it came from a place of like, I want you to die in a ditch. I want your kids to die in a ditch. You know what I mean? It seemed to come from just a genuinely giving me a hard time. And we made up, at AFPAC and whatever. And he's a solid dude, so I can appreciate that. And I wish there was more of that in that whole Groyper movement, because, you know what I mean? It's good fun, and it's not damaging. And so, yeah, I like him, and I like a lot of other people in that movement. But the few shrill minority within there who's actually has like bad intentions with this whole thing, they're giving their whole movement a bad name. You know what I mean? So I'm not coming in here like trying to tell them what to do, but I'm like, I am an outsider that's not attached to anybody. And I'm giving you a piece of advice, and you should listen to it or not, but it's fine. Like, if you want to make change, you should maybe take advice, and if you want to continue being, a fringe group that does not have any impact on America in the big picture, fine. But I suggest you take advice from people who have no real chip on their shoulder and have no alliances to anyone else, but it's just a genuine observation and genuine advice.
Jack, I'm going to hand this off to you in a moment. I just want to also ask you, I want to ask for Lilly, you are a Christian first? How do you rank yourself? You're first an American, first a Christian, first a conservative. What do you rank? What is the most important parts of your person?
Well, obviously, the first a Christian, that's the most important part, because when we die, it doesn't matter where we've stood politically, but it matters where we're going. So obviously that comes first. Then I would say America first after that, because if we don't have a good country, then we're pretty screwed, because there's no other country that's any better than America. So I want to, Christian first, America second, but always America first, and not as far as ranking though.
yeah, I get it. All right, Jack, go ahead.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So I've also noticed that, how do you think that is like the best way to help try to make changes in this country? Like, what do you think is the most important issue that we have right now?
I think the most important issue right now is the open border, because we have literal invaders pouring over by the millions coming over here. They are replacing our workforce. They're replacing. I was recently on a military base the other day, and it was shocking to me how few white people there were. I think I saw 4 white guys that were in there. The rest of them were either Hispanic or looked Middle Eastern or something like that. So that's legitimately happening. Like, they are replacing our military force. They are replacing our workforce. Like, look at all the cheap labor and whatever. And then that's not necessarily the worst aspect of it. They're bringing a lot of violence here. We've got a lot of cartel action now. The black community is actually suffering because the Mexicans that are coming over and all these different groups, they're taking over the hood. So I've always said to like black people, like, you should be the most anti-open borders because they come for your places first, and the rich white neighborhoods, they go down last. So this should be a major concern for like the black community. But 100%, the border is the biggest issue. We've got fighting age men. It's not women and children. It's fighting age men pouring over the border. So what are they bringing fighting age men in here for? It should be concerning to everybody because it's coming to your back door.
Yes.
Yeah, no, 100% it is. And there's and most people I don't think realize how bad the situation is, because just it's sad that the media just will not tell you the truth. They are completely beholden to their ideology, bought off by the Democrat Party, and under no circumstances they will ever tell you what is really going on. I mean, because if you've seen some of the footage from a lot of people, you see just thousands and thousands of people just pouring in every single day. And you have no idea who these people are. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what their intentions are. And you don't know if they're necessarily working on behalf of a foreign government.
Although, Jack,
there's different possibilities.
Jack, I would like to say this, that even if we do know who they are, when they are, what they're about. I'm like, I don't care. I want to assimilate the ones already here. And this browning of America or the Great Replacement theory is absolutely true, 100%. Just look at Joe Biden. He's been celebrating that the white people will be a minority in the United States. He's been celebrating it. They are gaslighting the American public and conservatives in particular to say that you guys are racist for noticing this. You guys are celebrating that the United States is becoming less white, and I'm concerned about that. I am absolutely concerned about replacing a population that has roots in this country and its traditions that go back to its founding. I don't like that you are replacing the populace of this country. And America, I hate what I really hate about certain politicians, which I've said, if they say this, they should be immediately disqualified. If a politician says that America is an idea, get the hell out of my sight. I don't even want to talk to you. Whatever comes next, it's not going to be anything of value. America is not an idea. It's a nation. It is a people. It's built upon a set of ideas. Yes, America is the only country that is not specifically based on race, ethnicity, religion. It's not based on those things. It's based on a set of ideas which stem from the Bible and, yes, Judeo-Christian values. I know a lot of people who are watching right now, they're very upset that I'm using Judeo-Christian. But what is it? And they say, what is the Judeo part? Oh, well, the Old Testament. Welcome to the club. It's the Old Testament that we're talking about and the 5 books of Moses. If you want to reject the Judeo part, you got to reject the Old Testament and the 5 books of Moses. That's just the Judeo part, and the Christian part is the New Testament. So it is grounded in the traditions of the Judeo-Christian values, principles. So of course, America is based on a set of ideas and not a nation, not a race, ethnicity, skin color. But now it is a nation. Now it is. So that nation is built on the set of ideas, and those people coming in right now through the southern border, they do not agree with it. They're bringing their own wild behaviors. They're bringing in rape cultures. You would be surprised. Everybody should be reading Adios America, talking about the rape. You want to talk about the rape cultures? I know the liberals love talking about the frat boys. We love the frat boys, by the way. The frat boys, that they are very rapey, the rape cultures in the frats. No, the rape culture is actually located in Mexico, in India, and in places like Iraq, where they have child brides for those Christians who are saying we should have an Islamo-Christian alliance. It's called Chrislam. I'm like, dude, I know you don't like Jews. A lot of people don't like Jews. On talking to those people who don't like the Jews. Okay. Why? Because Jews control the world? Yeah, because George Soros really likes the Talmud, right? Anyway, I would just like to point this out. You do know what the Islamists think of you. The Islamists want you to pay the jizya, the tax. They want to subjugate you. Wherever they go, they dominate. Just look at how women used to dress in the Middle East. How modest, but also with nice clothes, colorful. You should see the Moroccan, Libyan, before Islam and now after Islam, all wearing burqas, all the place. So I'm like, sure, you want that? Okay, that tells me where you're at. Islam. You want to talk about Islam? What did the Islamists do to Christian children? Oh yes, they captured Christian children, castrated them, and turned them into military forces for their campaign against Christendom, against Christian Europe, and they were the Janissaries. Oh, but let's talk about Judaism. Yeah, Judaism captures Christian children and castrates them. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm sure that's what the Jews did. So this Islam alliance, it's so utterly retarded to me. It's so laughable, and I just laugh in the faces of anybody who wants to make this work. It's not going to work. Islam is going to dominate you. It's a dominant religion. It seeks to dominate. Have you seen? And if you don't believe me, anybody who doesn't believe, oh, you're just making this up because you're Jewish. Yeah, sure. I'm not going back to history. I'm not bringing up examples of history. Not as if I'm doing this. Let me just point out to right now what is happening. Nigeria, Christian genocide from Islam. What is my proof that right now it is a dominant religion? First, you have Geert Wilders in the Netherlands. He made the point that it's incompatible with European values, but you could see what happens to Christian churches in Europe. They're dominated by Islamic prayer. Muslims go into Christian churches and pray for Allah, a false god. We all know what God's name is. It's not Allah. The Bible and the Old Testament is very clear, and the New Testament as well. It's very clear what God's name is. It's not Allah. It's a made-up name. So you have those people going into Christian churches and praying to Allah. I mean, why do you have to go into a Christian church? Why is your mosque not sufficient? It seeks to dominate. It's going to dominate you. Europe has to remain Christian. It has to start kicking out the Islamists and, those who have been given citizenship, too bad. It's still, maybe there could be some repeal process for that. I don't know. I'm not going to comment too much on that. I'm just going to say, you got to kick out the invaders of Europe and reestablish the church in Europe, both in Germany, France, Italy, everywhere. Reestablish the church as a prominent institution, because where Europe is going right now, it's not going to end well. It's absolutely not going to end well. So that is my Islamophobic takes on that. What would you say? You already said this. You already said that. F Islam. What's your opinion on Islam?
Well, when Muslims get over 10% of the population, there's major problems. And again, I don't care if it's Buddhists coming in. I don't care if it's Hindus coming in. I don't want any other religion taking over this country. This is a Christian nation first, and that's how it should stay. If you want to have this be a Muslim country, you can go fuck yourself, because this is an American Christian country, So no, I'm not obviously as a woman, I've got major problems with Islam because, over there you can get stoned to death if you get raped, for example. But yeah, I definitely do not want Islam here. I don't want Sharia law here, like what they're trying to, promote in.
Although you don't mind getting stoned. You don't mind getting stoned with shrooms, though, do you?
Yeah.
That's a good kind.
To be fair, it was just a microdose,
Go ahead,
so
Jack.
I didn't even get to it, but yeah, you're right. But yeah, that's my take.
I also want to add to that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So I actually want to just add on to that. So, I mean, if you just listen to the way that these people talk, I mean, they literally say that first they're going to come for the Saturday people, then they're going to come for the Sunday people. I mean, Sharia law, Islam you're right, Islam is a religion that seeks to dominate. They don't really want to tolerate. Here's a perfect example. If you look at the stark difference between demographics in Israel and Iran, if you will be able to see is Muslims live very comfortably in Israel, but
Jack,
how many?
Do not start shilling for Israel, okay? You can go ahead and say, but do not shill for Israel. I will not have that.
No, of course not. I mean, I'm
giving you a hard time. I'm just giving you a hard time, okay?
No. I know. I have my own questions when it comes to Israel. But you can't just. But I can't deny the basic fact that you can. It's very easy to be a Muslim in Israel, but try being a Jew in Iran. I mean, the difference is very stark contrast. But I also do want to pivot back a little bit to what you were talking about with the great replacement theory. So if you get called racist here, look up this article right now, New York Times, Michelle Goldberg, 2018. It's called "We Can Replace Them."
Give me a moment.
So
I
this
will
is
look
an
this up.
article.
You can continue talking. I'm gonna bring it up right now. You continue talking.
Right. So this is an article that was written in 2018 because they thought the idea that like they said, the demographic destiny that you thought that minorities, that an influx of minorities would cause the Democrat Party to have a constant majority in the country, and you can see them, and you can see that there is a supercut by Grabian where they literally are talking about demographic destiny over and over again, and it goes over all sorts of different people talking about. It starts with Chuck Schumer, then it goes to like a Stephen Colbert, then it goes to Don Lemon, the Castro brothers, everyone. So if you think that if they want to call you racist because you're just simply pointing out all they're doing it, all you have to do is just pull out this article or you pull out that supercut and you say, no, that is your thing. You have been constantly raving about this for years, and now you're calling me a racist because I'm just starting to notice it. I mean, like, seriously, go fuck yourself, man.
Well, they are the party of eugenics.
Well, I can't bring it up because I need a subscription.
Oh, I saw that. But
No,
yeah,
I mean,
Democrats. They're
well,
the
yeah,
party.
no, I mean,
Sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, so
well, yeah,
I
I
can't.
mean, if you just
I can't bring it up.
No, I
so
mean, if you
go ahead,
look it up,
Jack. You go ahead.
all right. So yeah, I mean, you're right. They are the party of eugenics. I mean, all you have to do is just go back and look at Margaret Sanger when she first started Planned Parenthood. She was a devout eugenicist. She attended Klan rallies and she read a lot of the experimentation that they did in World War II by Nazi scientists. And if you also know a little bit of history, there is an interview of Bill Gates where he talks about his dad co-running Planned Parenthood with Margaret Sanger. So if you want to talk about the eugenicists, I mean, it's clear as day from that.
Right. Well, and I think she even had started Planned Parenthood because she wanted to get rid of the black population, So they want to call us racist. Meanwhile, they're the party of, like, people who want to genocide black people in this country through abortion.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, abortion clinics are disproportionately in black neighborhoods. And you wonder why that is. I mean, you have it literally written in Margaret Sanger's notes that she says, we don't want these, like, what is it, so-and-so finding out that we're trying to kill these people. I forget what the exact quote is, but I'm just paraphrasing it there. But you can see that. But if you look at it, you can see that, yeah, absolutely, that the goal of Planned Parenthood was for eugenicist purposes.
Yeah,
By the way, it's so funny. It's so freaking hilarious. When I first sent you, I sent you that I would like to interview you, and it was a tweet. So, and I said that I would like to DM you. I think that's what I said. Anyway, so one guy, I think he claimed to be black. I don't remember. He claimed to be a police officer and a former Marine. I'm like, okay, that's one hell of a resume you got there. Anyway. Said that, called me a racist. You know what I responded? I responded with a meme that says that the year 1980, somebody says, that's racist. Oh, I'm sorry. Then 2000, that is racist. No, it's not. Then 2010, again, he says, that's racist. Says, go F yourself. And then now 2020 or 2024, that's racist. Thanks for noticing. I responded like, yeah, thanks for noticing. Yeah. I'm like, I'm so over it. Call me a racist, and I will not even deny it because I know where I am. I know I'm not a racist. I know I don't hate people on the content of the character. I don't hate people on skin color, ethnicity, and all the other things. I just don't hate people. You're gonna accuse me of that. I'm not even gonna deny it because that means, you know what? If you call me racist, you're gay and retarded. That's it. Fair is fair. I mean, I'm just not interested. I'm not going to lower myself to your low IQ conversation when you call me a racist and think I'm supposed to be offended or scared or what do you think is going to happen when you call me a racist? You think I'm going to run away and be scared? No, I'm just going to be like, thanks for noticing. Thanks for the compliment. And most normal people will be like, you know what? I can vibe with that. I can vibe with all the fear mongering of being called a racist. Republicans, conservatives, stop it. Do not fall for this. It's all a grift. It's a huge grift. If you hate black people because of the color of their skin, then you're a racist. If you don't, and you criticize them on certain behaviors, as you criticize Jews on certain behaviors, you criticize everybody on certain whatever they have to do, then fine, fair enough. So I would also like to play this. I would like to play. Let me see. What is A1? What is this one? I don't remember which one this is. So
a recent video of mine seems to have
oh yes.
upset.
Oh yeah, so this is what I loved about, and this is what a lot of other people were glad, that when you were called on it for saying the N-word, not the N-word, a N-word, soft R, not even, the R isn't even there, so you were like, this is your response, and I love it, I just love it.
So a recent video of mine seems to have upset members of a certain community, and all the backlash just really made me, just really do a deep dive, like do a soul search. And after all that, I still couldn't find a care.
You're going to call us racist? You're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs? Fuck you. War.
Perfect edit, if I do say so myself. Perfect. This is exactly what needs to be said. The calling people racist, you hate, as you said, you don't hate black people. You're just using it as everybody else is using it, as every normie uses it. Everybody wants to be edgy. So stop it. We all know what you meant. And again, context. Let me play this. Let me see. What is this one? I know there's one here where I actually had to disagree with you. Okay, I think it's this one. You said if you're not getting knocked up, you're a loser. Where's the video? I don't think I have the video. This is not the video, right?
No, that's
This is not the video.
something else.
Okay. So anyway, you said I'll just paraphrase what you said. You tell me if I have any errors. You said if you're not getting knocked up, you're a loser, and you were talking about the white population is declining. You have to have more white babies. Go thank a single mother. Being provocative as per usual. Just having some fun. A lot of people got really upset about it. The only thing that bothers me about, more or less the only thing that bothers me, two things. One, as a Christian, how can you say that you should have sex with women and then leave them? That's number one. And the second part, it is actually, we don't have that much of a black crime problem or just the crime problem isn't black or anything like that. It's actually a single mother crime problem. If you were to take all the metrics out, you would just go by one metric, and that is how many of the criminals have been born to single mothers. You'll see that there is a consistency throughout white, Asian, black, Hispanic, all races. Single motherhood is the greatest indicator of a child growing up in a criminal life. So this is something that I really much find an issue with, saying that you should think of single mother. Well, actually, we have a single mother crime problem in this country, not a black crime problem in this country. So, and that is one thing. And the second part is, so I would like first for you to respond to the first part, that how can you say as a Christian, you should think a single mother? I mean, we don't want to have more single mothers. We want stable, well-functioning, powerful families.
Well, obviously this was kind of to be a joke. It was also as a fuck you because a lot of people were trying to expose and dox my child, and I'd kept him quiet because I didn't want to bring him into harm's way, obviously. So that all was coming out, and so this was my as the one video was the retort to all the people demanding an apology for the N-word. This was my report to all the people trying to dox my child. It was basically a fuck you, but it was not promoting single motherhood. It was, go get married, have babies. Like, we need to be having babies. The point of the video was, it was a joke, and it was obviously silly, and obviously I don't mean single moms are great. Case and fucking point. But we do need to be having more babies in this country, and that was just a funny way of saying it. You know, I knew it was going to ruffle a few feathers. That was the point, because my feathers were ruffled because my child was docked. So I was like, okay, this is my fuck you to you. And by the way, have more babies.
Yes, I can agree with that. But I think the way you brought it out is not the best way. I have to say, it's not, the message is not that well conveyed in this one. Again, you know, I love the offensiveness. I love the provocativeness. You know, I've made that very clear. But this one point, I was like, doesn't really cut it. Also, let's talk about this. And I'm sorry, I just don't get what you're actually doing right here. You're saying, who told white dudes this was a good look? This is Tom McDonald. So I don't know if you're aware who this guy is. He's a rapper, and this is his shtick. This is his brand, his stuff. He grew up in the ghetto. He plays I mean, he doesn't. Sorry, not that he plays. This is who he is by essence, and this is not what white dudes do. This is Tom McDonald. He is doing it. This is one white guy doing this. So I'm trying to figure out, what are you trying? No, white dudes are not dressing like this and not doing this, regardless if it is cool or not cool. They're not doing this. It's just this guy, this one guy, and you're acting as if it's all white. I mean, not all, but a significant amount of white people that it is worth to comment on it.
I mean, it's ugly. It's not aesthetically appealing. Obviously, it's not what I find aesthetically appealing, and I just think wiggers in general are kind of cringe. I know he's an awesome dude. This wasn't a stab at him. It was just kind of a jokey way of, why are we copying black culture? What is that? It's weird. It looks cringe when white people do that. And to be fair, it's a lot more people than just him. Like, it may not be to this extreme, but lots of people imitate black culture a lot. And it's just kind of weird.
I really haven't seen it, so I apologize. If this is an actual significant problem, then I apologize. But I just haven't seen it. I know this guy, and maybe one other. I haven't seen it, so you know. Let's go. Let's continue. So Jack, you can go ahead. You have anything else to add?
Well, I mean, I kind of just wanted to just add on to the point about how it all comes back down to the home when it comes to crime. I mean, it was Barack Obama himself who once said that a child is 9 times more likely to end up in jail if he doesn't have a dad growing up. And I always remember, when it comes to this, I always remember this one incident that happened with my favorite podcaster of all time, Dan Bongino. I don't know if Lilly, you've ever watched his content. I highly recommend it. He's just the best. But during the George Floyd riots, he went up on Capitol Hill, and he was taught to be as an expert in his experience, because he used to be a Secret Service agent and an NYPD cop. But he made the point on there that everything came down to the home. And there was a guy on the panel who absolutely lost his mind. He was Congressman, I think his name was Hakeem Jeffries, and and he used up all his time just to start attacking Dan for it. So if you really want to understand like how the left thinks about this, is the way that this is by design, the rise in single parent households. It's because their guiding ethos is that they believe that all your values need to come from the government, and things like religion, things like families, that gets in the way of that. So if you want to understand like really what the rise in the single parents and why people aren't having kids as much, it's like this is it's not an accident that this is happening. They want people to have all their values coming from government. They want you sad, they want you miserable, because they want to come in with the solutions like, hey, if you just come in and accept our solution given, that we can make you happy. Then that is what their guiding ethos is. And if you always want to know why they always call you racist all the time, it's because it's not necessarily because they think you're racist. It's because it's a form of self-censoring. They think that if they call you racist enough times, that you will start to self-censor yourself on issues that you know that you are passionate about. So when you see them for example, when you see Joy Reid on MSNBC calling you a racist because of something that you once said. I don't know if she actually did that with you. I mean, probably only be a matter of time at this point. But if you see that happens, that's how you know that you're right over the target, which means that you don't silence yourself. You simply just double down and you start talking about it louder.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, 100%. Like all these labels. I mean, conspiracy theorist was a term invented by the CIA, as a way of delegitimizing people who question the government or question anything. And same with these terms. They're all just terms to delegitimize you, because if you make your voice seem, oh, like, don't listen to this person, they're written off because they're racist, then it's a great way of silencing people. And like you said, that was an excellent point. Like, it makes you be like, oh shit, that makes me seem like a racist, so I just won't say anything. It's a way of controlling the narrative completely.
It's gay. It's gay. Again,
Yeah,
it just is gay. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's gay.
It's gay and retarded.
Yes,
Absolutely.
gay, retarded, and some other words I do not want to mention right now. So let's switch this up a little bit. So you have been again called racist and a trad wife. I mean, none of those things. You're none of those things. You're just somebody who was being edgy on the internet, as if, oh my God, we're not allowed to be edgy on the internet anymore. Like, what? So you were just being edgy on the internet. Now you've been, canceled and then uncanceled. Thank God you've been uncanceled. You got a following, so people can now see what's going on. So part of the greatest criticisms that I've seen against you is, oh, she's a grifter and she's just using it. My counter argument is that you were fired, right? So, what other options is there? There is not that much other options. Furthermore, you've been very transparent with this. You've said that you want to turn this into an actual thing. You want to do some commentary. You want to post videos, monetize. Whatever happened to you, you just want to monetize it. And you were transparent. Grifters aren't transparent about them monetizing anything. They're like, no, I'm just doing this for the good of the people. I'm doing this for the country. Listen, I'm a great guy. You have to understand. You're like, no, I'm ditzy. I'm clumsy. I have some, I say some stupid things from time to time. I'm not the greatest genius, and I am going to monetize it. You're being very, very honest here, as far as I can understand it, right? Just common sense. Again, if you are a grifter and a psyop, good job. I have to say, you're doing a wonderful job. Everybody is being fooled right now. But I have to make this very clear. You're being, as far as I understand it, you're being very transparent here. So do you think do you see this as an actual viable option to make money, to make sure that you have a future in something? Because, you're going to be, at this point, you're going to be very much unhireable in a lot of places. And do you see this as being a viable option for you?
I guess the thing is, like, people are so fucking stupid if they're like, oh, you're wrong because you're trying to monetize. I'm like, yeah, dumb shit. Like, I've got a child. Do you think I'm not going to I have to make money somehow. I've already got fired, you fucking idiot. Like, what do you think I'm going to do? Just go panhandle now? So, it's an opportunity. And I don't know if you know Gavin McInnes, but I listen to him a lot. I think he's got really good takes. And he said once, he was like, if you ever get a window of opportunity, no matter what it is, you put a crowbar in there and you make sure that window doesn't close and you try to make something out of it. Because he was like, you don't get opportunities that much. This wasn't a plan. Like, if I had been in this to make money to begin with, I would have been consistently making content or whatever. I've been off and on social media because I get bored quickly. And, I would post, but then lately I was like, I'll just start posting things and see where it goes. So yeah, you have to you got to make money. We all have to make money. And let's not be real. The people who are calling me a grifter, they're just mad because they're in it to make money.
Wait. You're sounding very Jewish right now. I have to say, you're sounding very Jewish. We can't have that. We can't have that. Everybody want to make money. You're all about the money. I knew it. You've been exposed.
Exactly. Well, what cancels that out is the fact that I'm retarded with money. I am an absolute retard when it comes to business, money. Like, in this whole thing, I've made $50 from some nice lady that cash apped me $50. I'm in the hole a ton of money. Like, I've made no money off this. I can't even figure out how to get my Twitter monetized. So yeah, I don't like, if I am a Jew, I'm a real damn bad one because I know nothing about money and I'm doing a really bad job at it.
If you need help getting getting monetized on Twitter, I can help you out with that. I've been monetized for some time now, so if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out.
Yes.
Actually, yes, I do.
He's
I
pretty
need
good
somebody
with
who
those
knows.
things. Also, he will be glad to help you out. Furthermore, I would also like to add that, don't worry, I'll have a chat with our boys at the Federal Reserve and the Jews that control the world like puppets. We'll make sure, and also I will, of course, I will be using the tunnels. I will be using the Jew tunnels from New York City to get to George Soros, and I will be talking with him, telling him that he should quickly monetize you immediately because we do need more. We need more psyops. Some time ago I posted, we need better psyops. Thank you, the Jews, for giving us better psyops because we definitely deserve better psyops. It's been some time now. Almost all the psyops has been pretty cringe, but now we're getting the good ones. Keep it up, Jews. So you think so? Let's hopefully this could actually turn into something. Just I'm not saying I hope you may. I'm not saying that this turns into a whole huge thing with making a lot of money. I hope you could make something off of this because getting fired. It's not the best thing, right? It's not the best. It's not I got fired. This is awesome. Except if you're a masochist, which okay, I guess. But I would say it's not the best thing in the world to happen to a person. So I hope you can make some money off of this. Jack, you could teach her how to not only monetize but also make subscriptions. So keep the N-word talk to the subscriptions. So those who want to hear you say the N-word again, you should be able to monetize this will be the next thing on Joy Reid. Just imagine the headline on Joy Reid. White girl monetizes the N-word on Twitter. I say just go ahead and do it just to piss the hell off. Go ahead, do it.
But it's happening. You know what that's going to turn into? It's going to be a lot of black men subscribing who's into all that. Because I've already seen tons of that in my comments, like, oh, you can call me nigger. Please call me nigga. Sorry. Please call me nigga again. So it's going to be the black community that's supporting me. Which that's so ironic.
Okay, wait a minute.
A lot more tiny.
Wait a minute. This sounds okay. You just sounded like you were like role playing like dominatrix style. Like blonde girl calls black people the N-word. I mean, this is gonna turn into OnlyFans real fast if you don't watch out. If you know what I'm saying. So you gotta watch out for that. Jack, you wanted to say something?
I had no idea that was a thing until this whole stuff came out, and the amount of DMs that I've had from black dudes, I'm like, what on earth? It's a whole thing. You don't even want to know. It's really weird and gross, but yeah, it's a thing, and I just found that out.
You're gonna have to monetize it. Can you imagine the headline? You gotta monetize that immediately.
Okay.
Yeah. I would monetize just to see the look on Joy Reid's face. As a man, that woman is just a vile human being, and she deserves every bit of ridicule she gets.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. That whole panel,
you know what I don't get? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that whole panel is absolutely ridiculous, and I don't know how they're famous.
You know what I don't get? When conservatives attack her for being homophobic, I'm like, I mean, aren't we all kind of homophobic? I mean, especially now that since it's Pride Month, I'm like, I actually tripled my homophobia to suffice for the gayness that fell upon us. So aren't we kind of, we're just being edgy on the internet. We don't actually hate gay people. We don't care. We're just like, we're making fun of everybody. And if you're going to call it homophobic, yeah, we're kind of homophobic. Everybody is homophobic nowadays. And here's, you know what, let me play this video. I know we've been going in and out of this. But let me play this again. Let me play this video. I think this is, since we're on topic.
I really hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you are considering becoming gay, let's just say a member of the rainbow community, I would advise against it because the day of the rainbow is over. The gay has canceled out the gay. You're not going to be special anymore. You're not going to be considered edgy. You're not going to be considered cool. It's just over. I'm sorry. You're going to have to find a new a new identity because that one's not working, because everything is gay. Architecture is gay. Cars are gay. Like, look at these electric cars. They're the gayest, ugliest, like, uncool cars imaginable. They're so embarrassing and so gay. The outfits are all gay. You see, like, these little e-boys, like, fucking, shut up. Shut up. You're gay. You're gay. And it's gay. Everything is gay.
Yes, I mean, at this point, everything is gay, so we have to be sufficiently homophobic in order to combat the gay, I guess. So yeah, it's a sad state of affairs when we can't have nice architecture. I mean, why can't we have nice cars? Have you freaking seen the cars from the 1950s, even 40s, 1940s, 50s, and then we go to the 60s? And everything turns gay. Everything is square boxes. I'm like, what happened to the nice, classy, huge headlights? I know it's maybe not the most efficient thing. It's nice. It's appealing to the eyes. I mean, all the cars turned gay, and the architecture is also gay. It's sad. We are in a sad. If having the cars from the 1950s is homophobia, then sign me up.
Exactly. No,
No,
everything.
yeah. I
Like,
mean, if you want to know the reason why everything is like
sorry, go ahead.
sorry, you go ahead.
No, you.
No, I was just gonna say. No, what I was gonna say, if you really want to understand why everything is gay now, I mean, I think you could trace it back to a Brazilian Marxist called Paulo Freire, and and a lot of his writings. Like, I would say the best example of that would probably be his Pedagogy of Education, where he talks about where if you see a lot of you know a lot of the indoctrination that's been going on the campuses, using them as platforms to try to radicalize students through identity groups. Back when it was Karl Marx's time, it was through it was through the oppression of the classes. But now, since that's not working, they have to do it through the oppression of identity politics. So if you see so you see now you have the idea of the LGBTQ people saying that they are the oppressed ones, and then you have the oppressors, which is the straight white male. So if you want, and if you want to, and so what happens with these kids is that after they graduate high school, they go to learn this stuff in their colleges, and then they go out into the workforce where they come out with as like as you said, architects and engineers. So if you want to understand why everything is gay, so you can trace a lot of it back to the work of Paulo Freire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
Again, we need to de-gayify everything, especially in June. Anyway, this has been a very fun conversation. And now that we have established that you're Jewish, we have exposed you. It's over. You are going to monetize everything. You're going to monetize the N-word, which is the most Jewish thing you could do right now. So it's completely over. You've been exposed. This is a complete psyop, and you are also a shill for Israel. Which, by the way, let me just before we end. I have to say, I agree with you on the Israel point. I'm sick and tired of sending Israel our money. I'm sick and tired of sending Ukraine our money. I'm sick and tired of sending everybody else our money. It's not, and it's not. You know what? It's not even worth sending our money. Who are we to even say it's our money? It's our children's money. It's our grandchildren's money. We don't even have any money anymore. I mean, come on. This is absolutely crazy. This is not crazy. This is treason of the highest order for on our posterity, on our children's children. We're just selling out their entire future for what? Oh, because there has to be a democracy in the Middle East. Israel could take care of itself. Let it take care of itself. Stop being gay for Israel. Stop shilling for Israel. It's a secular country. It's not religious. Let it be. Let it take care of itself. Don't care. Our greatest ally. I'm like, that never actually stood well with me. Our greatest ally. Our greatest ally? I mean, the British come in mind. I think the British are a better ally than the Israelis. I mean, I say this as an ultra-Orthodox Jew. I think that the British are pretty a better ally than the Israelis. But anyway, I agree with you. Stop sending the money to Israel. Stop sending the money to Ukraine. Stop sending our money. We're already bankrupt. It's over. I mean, there's a way. There's still a way out, but we're gonna have to build a lot of ladders in order to climb out of this pit. Anyway, so this has been a wonderful conversation. As I said, we've exposed you. It's over. Israel's going to be sending their shekels over to you immediately. Just let me see. In the next 5 minutes, you'll see your bank account with about 5 million shekels. You'll be able to spend it on on your blue Twitter check mark. So that's good. So for those who have been sufficiently offended and they want more, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram. My Twitter handle is LLDDISS, and then my Instagram is Lilly Lee G.
All right, so Jack, you go ahead and you tell people where they can find you, and afterward, Lily, we will have a discussion afterward to make sure that everything in the recording is okay. Go ahead, Jack.
Okay.
All right, so I can be found at Jacktron Prime on X. I do host spaces occasionally, so if you ever want to be following for base content, you could do that. Or if you just want to see Mark Hamill get absolutely ridiculed, you can. I am the perfect person for that.
I told you not to. I'm kidding. It's an inside joke. Yeah, Mark Hamill absolutely deserves it. It's an inside joke. Anyway, so for those who want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at Aron Politidoxy on Twitter or Aron Friedman on Instagram. You could email me and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate emails. Looking forward to it at politidoxy@gmail.com. Please share this episode, like, subscribe. Leave 5 stars. You can watch this on Spotify. A new thing that you can now watch videos on Spotify now, so that's cool. Again, I don't know how long this will be on YouTube. I don't know if my channel is going to be suspended for this. I don't care. So you guys subscribe, follow, share the most important thing, and remember, my fellow radicals, stay political.